97.3. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue.
Oh, flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let Citi relieve your stress. So yes, let the music soothe your soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. Are you ready for the Traffic Avenue? Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. An applause for the Traffic Avenue.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for
City 97.3.
Accra. Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amado. Tonight, I'm here with
Akosia Ochre.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes.
Sir, which year did you attain the age of 60? CJ, I'm waiting for a response.
Mr. Commissioner General, will you respond to the question posed by the member or you will not?
The chairman, the honorable deputy wanted to make an intervention.
No, I'm asking you, not the deputy minister.
Has Ghana's lead or head of revenue authority been working illegally for the past 3 years since attaining the compulsory retirement age of 60? Well, that's a question that was on the minds of many who watched the Commissioner General, Reverend Amisha Dai, being quizzed by the Ningo Pampran MP in Parliament. We have the story here on Eyewitness News. Also coming up, we'll focus still on the NPP primaries and the fallout. We'll be hearing from defeated MPs and the new faces on board. And still on Eyewitness News tonight, the issue of whether or not Ghana will be voting on November 7 is still on the burner. We'll be hearing from what happened in IPAC. We have the Electoral Commission on Eyewitness News. We also have business news coming up later on the show, and the latest headline:
Business community pushes for further reduction in policy rates to support business growth.
So that's from the City Business Desk in 50 minutes. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a host of affiliate stations and across the globe on citynewsroom.com. We start off with the Inter-Party Advisory Committee of there's a grouping where political parties go in a discussion or in a meeting with the Electoral Commission. 2 days ago, or yesterday rather, there was a meeting of IPAC where the EC convened to have a conversation on the proposal for Ghanaians to vote on November 7 and not December 7. What happened with that particular IPAC meeting? Let's speak to a deputy chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Dr. Eric Bosman. Professor Eric Bosman, sorry, I think it is. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. Forgive me, I'm confused. Doctor, Professor, which one it is?
Eric Bosman, Erica, sorry.
Okay, I wanted to give you the big title. So, okay. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing well. How are you too?
I'm well, thank you. I do know that yesterday you had an IPAC meeting. I don't know if you finished or you continued today.
No, we didn't have any meeting today.
Okay, so you finished everything yesterday?
Yes, please.
So what's the outcome? What did you come out with yesterday?
Oh, the outcome was that majority of the parties were supportive of the idea that the election should be in a day in November for 2024. And a number of them also supported the idea of a day in November, but it should be in 2028. But in terms of the public holiday, most of them were not supportive of the idea that the voting day should be a public holiday.
Now, you put this as an agenda on the table. Was it a proposal from the parties or it was a proposal from your side?
It was a proposal from the parties in 2015-2016, but the EC was not able to see to its implementation because Parliament did not back it in 2015. So the EC decided to resurrect it because apart from it going to benefit the political party, it's also going to benefit the EC, especially when you have a runoff. Because by law, we are supposed to have the runoff, organize it within 21 days. So the thinking of the EC was that if we can work on this to ensure a successful passage in Parliament, then we are going to have a situation whereby after a major election, if we have a runoff, we'll have enough time to be able to prosecute it.
So this proposal of yours is coming from the aborted plan of 2016. It's not as if a consortium of political parties approached you this time and requested that you should let us vote on November 7.
Yes. So a proposal from the parties in the past, which was resurrected this year.
Why did you take all these years to resurrect it now?
You know, the commission looked at several scenarios, especially in 2020 with COVID. It wasn't a good time for us to do that. So since last year, we've been working on it, looking at our equipment, our personnel, and several factors. So we came to the conclusion that 2024 will be a good time to initiate it and perhaps implement it so that from 2024, we'll be able to have our elections, general elections in a day in November, so that we'll have enough time in case there's a runoff, and it also impacts positively on the transition, especially when a new government is changing to another government in that way.
I see. Let's look at your calendar now. Are you sure that November 7 is sufficient for you as an electoral commission based on everything you're supposed to roll out between now and November 7? And if you could kindly walk us through your plan, we would be grateful.
Well, let me make something clear. We didn't mention November 7th. November 7th was part of the 2015 proposal. This time, the discussion was on a day in November, but we didn't choose a particular date. We didn't choose a particular date. So it could probably be maybe a Monday, a third Monday, a second Monday in November, in that order. In terms of our calendar, we mentioned it to the parties that we are going to make it available to them. We are looking at hopefully by next week. We've not made it public, so it's not something I can share. But what I can tell you is that we've assessed it, we've analyzed it, and we are very, very sure we'll be able to do it if we agree that we want to have the elections in a day in November.
I see. So you are yet to roll out the calendar, or you are yet to publicize it, but you are certain...
No, we are yet to publicize. We have it internally.
Okay.
We are yet to make it available to the parties, the media, and all Ghanaians who are interested in it.
But you are certain that November, if you were asked to do the elections in November, you can do that?
You know, Mr. Umaru, November 30th is still November, and that's only a week or so away from December 7th.
Yes.
20th November, maybe you are looking at 2 weeks and some few days. It's still within, around, not far away from December 7th. So it's something the Commission will be able to do. And
I know, but I think November 7 is the ideal or earlier because of the issue of transition that you talked about. In other countries, in the US, they vote around November 4 thereabout and how they are handing over in January. So if you want longevity or duration or long time to deal with, I think that would be the right thing to do. But let's still
the discussion didn't talk about November 7. But we, as you said, if you wanted something that will give you a longer period, preferably something around early November will be better.
Very well. Can you give me the major assignments you're going to undertake this year?
Oh, this year it's not going to be different from what we've done in the past. definitely we are going to have a voter registration exercise. All those who have turned 18 since our last registration, and all those who, for one reason or the other, have not been able to register as voters, the Commission will make that opportunity available once again. Apart from that, we are also going to be rolling out the exhibition exercise. There will also be transfer of votes. Those who want to go and vote in other places, they relocated to these places and they want to go and vote there. That is also going to be undertaken. Apart from that, voting by proxy will also be announced. Those who are interested in voting by proxy, that opportunity will be made available as well. Beyond that, we are also going to be having filing of nominations for the presidential election as well as the parliamentary. And the election proper, we are also going to have it. So these are the main activities. And very soon, very likely by next week, we'll have a calendar available so that people will know exactly when the registration is going to begin, when the exhibition is going to begin in that manner.
Just for emphasis, when you put it before the IPAC yesterday, did any political party support this November idea?
Oh, no. Most of the political parties, I would say, we had, as far as I can remember, about 9 political parties were present yesterday. And all of them supported the idea of having the elections in November, but it should be in 2028. All of them. And the majority of them, 5 out of 9 of them, supported that if the EC can go ahead and implement and meet the calendar of Parliament, then we should be able to start in 2024.
So 5 out of 9 agreed that it should be done this year.
This year. And the CSOs that came, all of them, CSOs, when you look at the minutes of IPAC, all of them, the idea that if the EC can work on the timelines and meet the deadlines of Parliament, then it shouldn't be a problem. Let's go ahead and do it. But the other 4 said, looking at the timing, they don't think the EC will be able to meet the parliamentary calendar very well. So let's defer it to 2028.
Could you kindly share with us how the 9 parties voted on this issue, so we know which ones?
No, we didn't vote. You know,
when I say vote, I mean which of them agreed that you could do it in 2024 and which ones disagreed.
I cannot readily mention.
Okay, then let me just refer to the major parties, the NPP and the NDC. How did they vote on this subject?
No, the NPP said they were for it as long as the EC will be able to work within the calendar of Parliament to be able to meet the deadline.
And the NDC obviously said otherwise. I'm looking at the director of elections of the NDC's post, Dr. Adonawani Boama. He lists a number of points as to why he thinks that you should not be allowed to do it. In fact, 15 points is what he lists. And one of them, which I've already asked you, has to do with your electoral calendar. And he says emphatically that your electoral calendar is simply not ready. And for instance, point 8, he says, did you know that another voters registration exercise must take place this year? Yet, because the EC's calendar of activities is not ready, we are left guessing. Why is your EC calendar not ready and yet you are trying to impose something on Ghanaians when you are not even ready yourself? You've not fixed your own house. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, so I was reading for you.
The EC calendar, what we told the parties was that the calendar is ready. We are working with it. Most of the activities have begun, or let me say some of the activities, but we'll make it available to the parties by next week.
Yeah, but the point is that you are not ready. You have not sorted out your own domestic issues, and so you shouldn't be biting more than you can chew.
Mr. Sander, the EC has done this in the past. So are we saying that if we know convincingly that we will not be able to do it, we will come out openly that, oh, this is something we can do, when we know we cannot do it? We'll be able to do it.
Are you sure? The EC in the past told us it to conduct elections for us at the local district level, and they performed abysmally. We recall that it was just a few weeks ago.
We did it. As I said, don't forget, in the district level elections, we had elections in 12,500 different places.
In the national election, you do it over 30,000 places. So it makes it even worse.
The national election, no, it's different. What we did in 2023, the national election this year will be about 8 to 10% of that. Don't forget, in the district level elections, I was making the point, we did it at 12,500 different places. I'm not talking about polling stations, different electoral areas and units. But the 2024 election, we are going to do them. We have, let me put it, about 277 different types of elections. So they are so different, and that of the 2023 is more complex. Every electoral area, you have candidates for assembly, you have candidates for the unit committee. But in the national elections, the whole of Ghana for the presidential is one constituency. And for the parliamentary, the whole of Ghana, you are looking at 276 different elections. So that one is so different, less complex than the district level election. So anyone who compares the two basically doesn't understand the two types of elections.
I think anyone who is doing the comparison would do it based on the fact that you told them, regardless of these challenges you've highlighted, you still told us you were capable and ready to conduct the district level elections. And yet, we saw what happened. People had to vote the following day. And so, if you believed and trusted that you had the capacity to do it and you failed, then we should still not trust you. We'll be looking at you with suspicion. If you say to us that this time around you can, no?
Anyone who claims we failed, as I said, doesn't understand. We had some technical challenges.
That's failure, sir. That's failure.
You can make your projections, you can do your estimations, you can plan, but along the line, you can face certain challenges. In 2020, a similar election as this year, presidential, parliamentary, we started registration somewhere in June. In less than 6 months, we were able to have one of the best elections in our history. So the commission is well convinced that we are capable. We have what it takes. We have the people in the various regions, various districts to be able to ensure that we succeed.
All right. You still believe you are capable. There is a part, and I'm looking at, again, Dr. Manibwama's statement. He says that, and this is legal, so before we can vote November 7 for MPs, there needs to be an amendment of the 1992 Constitution, Article 1124. Now, it is an unentrenched or non-entrenched clause, but you still need members of parliament to vote for you. 2/3 of MPs need to vote to agree to that. The last time you appeared in parliament, and when I say you, I mean EC, in 2016 on this issue, even with a huge campaign from the Attorney General at the time, you guys failed. The MPs did not vote for you. They didn't give you, the motion was lost. What guarantee do you have this time around that you're going to have a 2/3 MPs agreeing with you to roll out this process, considering that we have a different type of parliament this time around?
Sanda, when you look at what happened in 2015, Parliament gave a reason. And the reason they gave was that they believed the EC was not ready enough because of a number of activities that had to be undertaken. And we have taken all that into consideration. And we are saying that this time we want to fast track the process. We want to begin as early as possible. And that's what we have done. So a lot of the activities that must be done, the documents that must be put together, we have started. And we are fully ready for that. So when you read the answer, those reasons were given that, the EC must undertake a number of activities. So in principle, it wasn't because Parliament was against the EC's proposal, but Parliament gave a reason that looking at the timing, the EC was not in a position to undertake all these activities before the November timeline the EC was given. And we, armed with this information, we have initiated a lot of activities. And what we are saying is that looking at the parliamentary calendar, we'll be able to do it and have the elections in a day in November. And when Mr. Sanders, the EC, we don't work for ourselves. We work for the good people of this country. And we are saying that in the event there is a runoff, we are going to have only 21 days to be able to do that. So if it's possible, we can create additional 2 weeks, so that we have about 5 weeks to be able to do that. That makes the work easier for us and also easier for the political parties. That's basically what we are saying. It's not something we are doing for ourselves. We are doing for the political parties, the good people of this country.
I see. You have a good story, but you did not start early. You should have started this as soon as you finish the elections of 2020. Why did you have to wait till...
We didn't start early. I would say maybe we didn't publicize it early.
Have you discussed voting in November at any IPAC meeting since 2021?
No, internally as an institution, we've worked on it.
So this is the first time you are meeting the parties with it?
No, for the parties, we met this year. This year is, we have our main election year. So for internally, the processes that must be done. That's why when we met IPAC, we told them, looking at the calendar and everything. And we have some parties, civil society, supporting that. If indeed you are saying you can do it, go ahead and do it. In the event you don't get the blessing of Parliament, let us move it to 2028. So we are saying we are ready. And I made the point that we are saying a day in November. A day in November can be 30th. It can be 29th. It can be the last week in November. And when you do that, you are still giving the EC some extra 10 days. In the event there is a runoff, the EC will have enough time to be able to prepare, distribute. In election, you have to deploy materials from Accra to all parts of the country. So when you have more time to be able to do that, you are able to do a very quality work. And that's what basically the EC is saying.
So what are you moving away with now that you have a divided group? One saying, let's do it 2028. Another says, let's do it 2024. What is your plan of action in relation to this November voting?
The EC is not abandoning this. The EC will continue to pursue it. And we believe that Parliament will look at it, even the political parties that did not express full support for 2024. If they look at the evidence on the ground and they realize that the EC is well poised to be able to do it in November, I believe they are going to support it. Because I made an earlier point, we are not doing it for ourselves. We are doing it for the political parties. We are doing it for the country.
So are you going to carry this? Are you going to carry this to the people's representative and ask them to vote on it? I mean, are you going to Parliament with this agenda?
We haven't abandoned it. It's something we are going to pursue it, and we'll be engaging the parties along the line.
I get you. What I want to know specifically is whether or not you are going to move with your next plan on this November vote by going to Parliament and asking that they approve same for you, or you're rather going to do a lot more backroom conversations with them?
I said we are not going to abandon it. We are going to pursue it.
Now,
it's something that you will continue working on it.
Based on what you've told me, the tally is 5 against 4 in favor of 2028 and not 2024.
Oh, no. Based on, I said, let me make it clear. I said all the parties were supportive of a November day in 2028. However, a majority of them were supportive of 2024 as long as the EC can go through the necessary legal processes to have it in November of 2024. So I said all of them were for the 2028, but a majority of them were supportive of the 2024 as long as the EC can go ahead and implement.
Okay, so it means that you are going to go ahead and implement.
So in a way, if you want to look at the balance, we achieved consensus.
When are you going?
Of 2024.
So when are you going to start the paperwork to appear before Parliament with this proposal?
Usually we will begin by going through the Attorney General's department, and commissioners, I pointed out, we are fully ready, and we are putting everything together to be able to do that. So it's something in the days to come you are going to hear from us.
Someone wants me to ask you what challenges you suffered when you did a runoff in the past. In 2008, you did it within 21 days. You even had time to contend with. We still had an election successfully done and a swearing-in done January 7, 2009. When was the last rerun? I don't think we have had any rerun again since then.
Yeah, I think 2008.
So that was the only time. So in 2000 as well, in the year 2000, we had 21 days based on what the law says. So someone wants me to ask you, what challenge have you encountered in the past, for which reason you are insisting on doing this runoff or doing this carry forward?
Mr. Sender, as I said, if there's a runoff, you have 21 days. 21 days to do it. And you have to deploy materials from Accra. You have to print ballot papers. It takes a while to print ballot papers. So you are looking at almost about 70 million voters. In the past, the commission did it. but the commission went through a lot of challenges to be able to meet the deadlines. So currently what the commission is saying is that if it's possible, some additional days can be created so that in the event, we are not saying there is going to be a runoff. In the event there is a runoff, we can take advantage of that and be able to do a more quality job for the good people of this country.
So what were the challenges encountered that you want to fix now? Because your duty is to conduct elections and you do this only once every 4 years. And I'm sure your printer would be ready to print in the event that you need to do a runoff.
When we met at IPAC, we explained to them this was a proposal in 2015-2016. And the reasons given, the two main reasons were that in the event of a runoff and during the transition when you didn't have enough time. So there is not my job to mention the EC's internal challenges, but we explained to them that.
But Ghanaians would want to know so that we can buy into your idea, don't you think?
I mentioned that you have to print all the ballots within a short period.
But you did that. You did that effortlessly. No, you even had a third election in time, and you still did that. It was successful.
The fact that we did that in the past doesn't mean that the challenges we went through, if there is a way to minimize the challenges, why shouldn't we do that? We have to.
So the only challenge I identify...
Don't you see teams, football teams that are doing well, strengthening their teams?
I do, but it seems
don't you see organizations that are doing well, so bringing people from outside to strengthen their leadership?
Yeah, but
so what is wrong with the EC creating additional time to be able to do a quality job for the good people of our country?
But when you succeeded 16 years ago, I only expect better from you, not more challenges. But moving forward, the issue.
Although we want to have it, 2020 what we did, all the ballot papers got to the regional capital 2 weeks before the election. So it gave us enough time in 2020 to be able to do the work. So assuming you have only 3 weeks to be able to do a similar work, when you finish printing 17 million ballots, distribute to all the polling stations in our country. So what we are not saying we cannot do it, but you want to make sure that you do it in an environment where you can achieve some high level of success. You can ensure that you achieve a lot, and that's what we are doing.
Let me borrow the Nigerian parlance. Waiting concern you. The election, when it's done on December 7 and there's a runoff which happens on December 27 or is it 29, there is only a small window left for the transition process, but that's not your business. Transition process is not your business. All you're supposed to do is produce a president for us. How they do their work, that one is not your headache, or?
No, that's why I said the proposal came from the political parties. So it's something which will benefit the EC as well as the political parties.
But when you say from the political parties, and we have on the record that no party has approached you since 2016 to do this, then it's rather a proposal from you than the political party. They did in 2016. They went to parliament, they lost the motion, and they went on to do their business. You have brought it back to the front burner now. No political party has petitioned you in the last 10 years to do this, has it?
Oh, that's not that we can't come out publicly. It's something IPAC.
No, but it shouldn't be a secret. If PNC petitioned you and said, let's have elections in November, please tell us it is PNC. I'm sure the Kube will be happy that they've been mentioned. Hello, sir?
Hello, yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I'm saying that. So I want to know which party petitioned you and said in 2024
no party has petitioned us.
So then it's in your interest, not in the party's interest. Because if you say you're doing for the parties.
Of the party.
No, but they haven't asked you to do it.
Reasons have enumerated. It's also in the interest of the parties. And the parties want the EC to be efficient and effective. So that's why when we went to IPA, we explained to them, a number of the parties said, they thought this was a good thing to do. Once the EC has indicated, they will be able to do it.
Okay. Let's move on. The Director of Elections of the NDC has, again, in a statement, there's something he talks about. He says that you must be seen to be punishing erring EC officers who rig elections for contestants, and the EC must also be punishing the EC officer in Nandom, in the Upper West region, who openly declared his MPP affiliation during the last weekend's MPP primaries. What have you done about this so far?
No, Mr. Sandra, come again.
So, Dr. Donawani has reported your officer in Nandom, who, according to him, openly declared his MPP affiliation during the just ended MPP primaries. What have you done about it since he complained to you?
Nothing like that has come to our attention.
Did he formally petition you?
No, nobody has petitioned us.
But he said it to you at the IPAC that you should punish this person, or he did not?
No, nothing like that came up at IPAC.
Oh, okay. So you are not aware that there's an allegation that your Nandom EC officer has openly declared his support for the MPP?
No. If our officer had done that, it would have come to our attention by now.
Oh, okay. But if...
I don't think that something like that happened.
Very well. So if it happens, you would take action on it, wouldn't you?
No, if it happens, we'll look at the evidence available. Based on the allegations we may, we'll look at it. We'll invite our officer. Because our work is supposed to promote the Ghanaian project. So we don't expect that our officer will be openly saying that, I support party A or party B. Nothing like that has come to our attention.
Okay.
Once it's not done, then if anything at all happens, the regional director will be able to inform the commission. We haven't received any complaints to that effect.
All right. Yesterday, I spoke to Sribo Kwaku, your director of electoral services, on Yendi. He said you were yet to receive a report on Yendi to take action on what the situation there is. Have you received any report as yet?
No, so far the region has sent us something and the commission is looking at it.
Okay. Finally, the No Ghana card, no voting agenda. Are you still on it, or you have not abandoned it completely?
So we haven't abandoned it. It's something the commission is very much interested in it to ensure the credibility of the voters register. So it's something the commission will do its best to be able to push for it. And we want to use this opportunity to encourage all those who are qualified to register as voters to make the effort and get the Ghana card. During the just ended registration, those with the card, you realize they didn't have to struggle like their colleagues who had to use the guarantor system. So we think that it's a good thing. It will strengthen the credibility of our register, and it ensures that the foundational document, which is very central to proper election management, is a credible one. So this is something the commission strongly believes is a good thing. And we think that if the parties want to ensure elections are credible, it's something they must encourage their supporters to get the Ghana card, and it makes life simple, not only for the commission, also for voters who want to vote in elections.
Since you are both state institutions, what engagement have you had with the National Identification Authority to be certain that they have issued the cards to everybody who requires one so that they can register without a problem?
Well, the last time we engaged them, the numbers they gave us, they were quoting almost 18 million.
So it means...
So we believe that if indeed they are able to continue to do the registration, anyone who wants to register as a voter will be able to get it. We think that if even it is not a requirement to register as a voter, it's not the only requirement, people should be able to get it because it makes the registration process very simpler, very smooth, unlike situations whereby one person will have to bring two people to come and vouch for you in that manner, and we don't think it's the best. So it's something we encourage individuals to get, and we expect the Ghana card to also be doing their work to ensure that all people who are qualified get the opportunity to register.
I was just going to say thank you, but someone has sent a message saying I should ask you when you are going to pay those of them who worked for you as, is it polling agents or what's the proper title in the just ended?
So we have started the payment of it. Mr. Senator, the problem the commission has been having is that a number of the people we engage, they bring wrong bank accounts.
Really?
So that's the challenge we've been having. And the exhibition we did recently, you go almost about 20% of the people, their bank accounts are details. And the challenge we also have with the banks is that once you send a payment, if about 2% of them, their details are wrong, the bank doesn't honor the checks.
Pay them with mobile money or give them tabletop cash.
But our processes, we don't do tabletop.
Oh, but if bank is failing, give them their money, or you can let them sign that they received. The Auditor General will understand.
No, we've gone very far as a country. We think certain activities must be in historical dustbins. So
Okay. Do mobile money, because they said they want their money.
We are looking at several scenarios.
This gentleman has sent his message. He said they should send him money.
Some of the payments have started, so a number of them should be getting their money this week.
Is it the case that you don't have money to pay them?
Oh, we have the money. That's why I said the problem we are having is because of wrong bank detail. But as I speak now, those who did the exhibition, almost about 95% of them, the payments have been sent to the banks. So we do expect that by tomorrow, tomorrow is Wednesday, by Thursday, Friday, people should get their money.
Those who don't receive their monies by Friday, what should they do?
No, once you don't receive that, it means there's a problem with your account.
Should they come to you for rectification?
No. You need to contact your district officer.
Very well.
The district where you did the work. So we are working on. We want to make sure that we pay everyone.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
Thank you and best wishes to you. Enjoy the new year.
You too. Enjoy the new year and wish you a trouble-free election.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's Dr. Eric Bosman Asari. He's a deputy chairperson of the Electoral Commission. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. So this proposal to have the elections in November, we went to the streets to pick some reactions from Ghanaians, and they have been speaking about the proposal. Let's listen to them.
I think it's better because from 7th December to 25th, the tension is just too much. There's too much negative emotions at that time. Or we can do it earlier, the tension will go down before Christmas. We know that when it is Christmas starts, all emotions are high.
Since we've been holding it December 7th, they've been, I think 2008 they were run off. Yeah, we did it, and so I think there's nothing wrong with the date.
I think the SDAs wouldn't, because of the Saturday churches, so it wouldn't be helpful to them. And I think they will lose a lot of votes when they put it on 7th December. But if it's changed to 7th November, I think it's a good idea.
So some views there on the streets of Accra about whether or not Ghanaians should vote in November. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We'll be back with more.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
The wait is over. It's the Clash of Titans. The Total Energies African Cup of Nations Côte d'Ivoire 2023 is here. And as part of this year's competition, all Total Energy service stations will go into 100% football mode. So drive to selected service stations and kickstart your year with lots of amazing giveaways. So starting Sunday 14th January, when you buy fuel or lubricants on selected match days from selected Total Energy service stations, you instantly win amazing branded souvenirs. Let's celebrate the passion of football together and win lots of gifts during the 2023 Total Energies African Cup of Nations. Remember, promo is valid while stocks last. Visit our social media pages Total Energies GH for more information. Terms and conditions apply. Let's live football together.
Do you care enough about your business? Then it's time to make a transition to renewable energy and energy efficiency solutions. Visit the AGI Energy Service Center and talk to us. AGI ESC cares about business growth. That is why we're here to assist industries cut production costs through energy savings. We provide you with solar feasibility studies, energy audits, energy efficiency trainings, and financial advisory services. Visit agiesc.com for more information or call us on 0507 977 902, an initiative of the Association of Ghana Industries in partnership with the German Development Corporation, implemented by GIZ.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Adabraka in Accra. Across Ghana, we are on a host of affiliate stations, including in the Western Region, Premier 100.5, in Takrady, Beach 105.5 FM in Takrady, and Sky Power 93.5 FM also in Takrady. In Bono, on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani, in Ahafo, on Hammers 106.5 FM in Goso. In Ashanti Region, we are on Alpha Radio 104.9 in Kumasi, Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta Region, we are on Global 105.1 FM in Ho, and Adanu 107.7 FM in Adakluwaya. In the northern region, we're on Diamond 93.7 FM in Tamale. In the upper west, we're on Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. In the upper east region, we're on Source 100.1 FM in Boko. And in the northeast region, Scarp FM 101.3 in Nakpanduri. Now, yesterday, at the sitting of the Public Accounts Committee chaired by James Klucha-Veji, an interesting spectacle unfolded. The Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram, Samuel Nate George, when it was his turn to ask questions on the 2020, the Auditor General's report, which was being discussed, he started off on a rather unusual point, asking about the age of the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, who had appeared before the committee to answer questions about what the Auditor General had issue with. The issue of the date of the the Commissioner General became a subject of debate as to what time he retired. Listen.
Sir, which year did you attain the age of 60? CJ, I'm waiting for a response. What year did you attain the age of 60?
Isn't this personal, Chairman? What? I think it's too personal. No.
Chairman, if people think that this is personal, let me just remind this House and the Finance Minister, the Deputy Finance Minister, that her boss, the Finance Minister, came before the House of Parliament and informed us on behalf of His Excellency the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, that he was no longer going to be giving contractual extensions to people above the age of 60, especially when their expertise was not scarce. Your boss, the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, told the House that on behalf of His Excellency the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And so when I ask a question that which year did the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority attain 60, it is not a personal question. He's a public servant. Thank you.
But Mr. Chairman, is my colleague assuming? Is he assuming that?
I haven't called you.
Oh.
I haven't called you. OPK, I haven't called you. Leave that one to me to direct.
OMC is not a personal question, please.
Honorable members, we have our laws in this country that govern us. If the Commissioner General attained the age of 60, he can be given a contract. If the member is asking a question about his age, he should just respond and say, I'm 60, but I'm on contract. Finish. Whatever the finance minister say, we'll take the finance minister's on. So why are we arguing about this? We should not argue about this. He can say that, oh, I'm on contract. That's all. Yeah. So, Mr. Commissioner General, can you respond to the member's question?
Mr. Chairman.
Honorable members, why? Are you the one asking the question? Sam George is the one who asked the question. Can we hear the actual question from Sam George?
Thank you very much, Chairman. The question again I asked, very simple. Which year did the Commissioner General of the GRA attain 60?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Before he answers, I just want to find out, is this a public interest question? Respectfully, asking us.
Honorable Minister.
So then, Mr. Chairman, if he has a question, you should go straight to the question. But asking for someone's age.
Honorable Minister, the officer to whom the question is directed is a public officer. So it's a public interest question.
Chairman,
no,
it's too personal.
It's a personal question, Mr. Chairman.
No, it's not personal. It's not personal. It's not personal. It is not personal.
Mr. Chairman, it's just like asking
Mr. Commissioner General,
where were you born?
Respond to the question.
It's just like asking Mr. Commissioner General, where were you born?
Honorable member, why are you defending the Commissioner General?
Nobody is defending, but Mr. Chairman, respectfully, we came here to
ask. Why are you defending the Commissioner General?
This is not a public interest question.
Honorable members, I'm the one chairing this committee. I am the one chairing this committee. I have explained why I'm allowing him to respond to the question. If you're not satisfied with this, do you want to be shouting at this committee? Will that solve the problem? It won't. I'm saying that he's a public officer. We have the law that governs this country. Fortunately, if you attain the age of 60, you have the opportunity to be given a contract. If he's on contract, he will tell us, and that's solve it. What is your problem? If he's not up to 60, he will say it. What's your problem? Mr. Commissioner General, can I respond to the question? Mr. Commissioner General, we are waiting for you. Mr. Commissioner General, will you respond to the question or you will not? Mr. Commissioner General, will you respond to the question posed by the member or you will not?
The chairman, the honorable deputy wanted to make an intervention.
No, I'm asking you, not the deputy minister. If I want the deputy minister to come in, I'll ask her.
Well, suffice it to say, the chairman never got the answer, or maybe he did, because this happened for like 9 minutes. At a point, the public address system shut down, so they were not hearing each other. They went on break, they fixed it, came back, and it still continued. Commissioner General, would you tell us when you clocked 60 years? And it appears that, I don't know, let me ask the man who started this problem for the Commissioner General. Samonate George is MP for Ningo Pram Pram. Honorable, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much, Omar, and good evening to your listeners.
Good evening to you. Did you eventually get the answer?
Well, somewhat. He responded when we came back after about 90 minutes since I asked the question.
90 minutes?
Yes. From the time I asked the question to when he answered was about 90 minutes later. He responded that he turned 62 in October 2023, which means that he turned 60 in October 2021.
Why did you ask this question? What's the import and importance of this question?
Well, I had a number of follow-up questions that I was going to ask. And the chairman restricted me to only one follow-up question after we had gone on the break because he felt that it was beginning to get too embarrassing. And so he restricted me to only one question. But the reason I asked that question is because the Controller General, Commissioner General, had failed to get a contract for his extension of stay at work. Our public service laws, once you turn 60, you proceed on leave. Now, I know for a fact that the Commissioner General, since he turned 60 in October 2021, has not had a contract. In fact, this is not the first time I am raising this matter directly with the Commissioner General, drawing his attention to the fact that he is engaged in an illegality. He has persisted, and it is 2 years, 3 months since he turned 60. And he knew that was where I was going to. That's why he found it difficult to answer the most basic of questions. What is your date of birth? Or when did you turn 60?
So your intention was to expose what exactly? That he was working illegally?
To expose the fact that the finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, and working under the approval of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia, have kept at post a man who has gone beyond 60 without any contract. And for the past 2 years, 3 months, the Commissioner General has been engaged in a number of dubious and unscrupulous contracts. And I can give you a few of them. First of all, the whole country knows about the $100 million SML contract. There is a second one which I will be breaking very soon. Let me break it on your station. It is about local revenue mobilization with a Ghanaian company, a Ghanaian-owned company called Axon Ghana that is running that contract. The records show the work they have been doing in that space. The Commissioner General, because he has no contract, has literally, for want of a better phrase, I won't want to call him a puppet, but I find no other word, of Ken Ofori-Atta and the board chair, Otin JC, have simply decided that they are going to take that contract away from a Ghanaian company and give it to a crony Indian company of theirs called Tata. They themselves know that Qatar has been involved in all kinds of challenges in Rwanda, in Zambia, in about 3 other African countries. They know. And the GRA management is against it. But because Reverend Dr. Amish Adai is simply hanging there by a string because he has no legal basis to be there, he's become the hatchet man who is being used to carry out all of this illegality for Kenuforiata and the board chair of GRA at GRA. The former board chair of GRA, Professor Stephen Adai, has had cause to warn the president about what is going on. Professor Ransford Jampo has had cause to warn the president about what is going on. So this is not the first time this matter is being raised, but it's been 2 years. Senior citizens of this land have warned the president. The president has turned a deaf ear, meaning the president himself endorses the illegality and corruption going on at the GRA, which is being spearheaded by the finance minister, and Reverend Dr. Amish Adai is being used as a puppet to execute those deals for them. And you know, Umaru, why this is even more ironic is that the immediate past Commissioner General was Mr. Kofi Nti. Mr. Kofi Nti had a 4-year contract. 2.5 years into his contract, he turned 60. President Akufo-Addo terminated his contract. Even though he had a 1.5 years, 18 more months on his contract, terminated it and said, go home. Because again, the president had, through the finance minister, notified Parliament that he was no longer going to be giving contract extensions to persons above the age of 60, except and unless their skill was scarce and in high demand. This was told to Parliament after the president hounded Mr. Yao Domlevo out of the audit service. So this Yao Domlevo, even when he had a whole year to go till he turned 60, hounded him out of office because Domlevo was fighting corruption. And in Ghana, when you fight corruption, corruption fights you. The president fought Domlevo and kicked him out. Kofi Nti was at post with a 1.5 years left. They kicked him out and brought in Reverend Amish Adai. Colonel Damwa came in with Amish Adai. Colonel Damwa turned 60 years. They kicked him out. So why have they kept Reverend Dr. Amish Adai Owusu Amwa at post if it is not that he is facilitating the corruption that is going on, blatant stealing that is going on at the GRA? And Umaru, this must be a cause of worry for all of us.
Where are you going to push this to next? You're going to ask for some decision to be taken by Parliament?
I'm writing again I will write to the president. I've stated that this week I'm going to be writing officially to the president and will demand a response from him. But then I will be raising this with the Speaker as well when Parliament reconvenes on Tuesday. And drawing the attention of Mr. Speaker and the Finance Committee of Parliament to the fact that Mr. Amish Adai must be rendered persona non grata before the Finance and Public Accounts Committees of Parliament. We should not entertain someone who has no legal basis. If the government will not do the right thing, Parliament should not entertain the GRA anymore in Parliament.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. That's Amonate George. He's NDC MP for Ningo Pram Pram. Let's speak to Austin Game. He's a Labour analyst and he also served at a point as a deputy minister. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you. Thank you.
Does this make it illegal for the Commissioner General to continue to occupy the position? What does the law say in regards to persons who turn 60 and who are in public service?
Well, thank you. For now, the reality is that if you are 60 years and you are in public service, you are, first of all, supposed to be told that you have reached the retirement age and therefore you quit the job. But some are given contract, and this contract is not a casual work. It's only casual work under our law that in certain circumstances it will be a gentleman agreement between the party employing and the employed. But this one is not a casual job, which you are supposed to be doing for about just a week or a month. But even if it's a temporary work, it has to be, there has to be a written contract. If it's a contract for service, like it is looking like now, to be given a specific contract for service, signed and executed between the two parties. So clearly the concerns being raised are legitimate, and if the employer is interested in keeping him still, then they should do what is right. If there is nobody in the country that can do such a job, and he has the capacity to do it, then they should give him a written contract of employment. Unfortunately, that appears not to be the case.
So it is an illegality now, or it is simply an administrative error which can be rectified by the person going home or the person being given a document that says you have been given a contract?
The description may not at this point matter. If it is administrative and it's not done, it means you are occupying a place that you do not deserve. That's just about what it is. So the best thing is for he himself also to demand it. Perhaps they will give it to him. I wonder why it has been allowed this way for all these years. They have the capacity. They have very good lawyers there. They are very good administrative people there. You should have saved this for a long time and helped by way of writing this contract for them to be signed, for it to be signed. So I'm surprised.
But if this has been a wrong that has been perpetuated for 2 years now, who should be held liable? Is it the appointer or the appointed?
Well, the appointing authority has a lot more to do with it. He is being paid at the end of every month. That is the reason why it may not be, after all, he's officially supposed to be on retirement. And if he's being given contracts, some contracts may in certain circumstances, depend upon the situation. If it's a private matter and it's not signed, it doesn't matter. It is public office and sensitive one as such. That's the reason why it's demanding this kind of answers. It should have demanded.
Very well. We'll keep an eye on that. Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
I'm grateful.
That's Austin Game. He's a labor analyst, giving us his perspectives to the issue relating to the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority. This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. When we come back, business news, and then we have Point Blank for you. Please stay with us.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
The wait is over. It's the Clash of Titans. The Total Energies African Cup of Nations Côte d'Ivoire 2023 is here. And as part of this year's competition, all Total Energy service stations will go into 100% football mode. So drive to selected service stations and kickstart your year with lots of amazing giveaways. So starting Sunday 14th January, when you buy fuel or lubricants on selected match days from selected Total Energy service stations, you instantly win amazing branded souvenirs. Let's celebrate the passion of football together and win lots of gifts during the 2023 Total Energies African Cup of Nations. Remember, promo is valid while stocks last. Visit our social media pages Total Energies GH for more information. Terms and conditions apply. Let's live football together.
Media Sambisanda mo. Eti emra tia no. Mu hwan pa na tumi hwe na mo bodom pe mo ma na yakono.
Eye kwabna.
Na mu hwan so na tumi just male me ma yɛ nyina de.
Eye kojo.
Enu kro. Kobre tumi hwe na bodom pe mo sense o yisu president eba. Aye den aban ne do braye. Po si echi na mo ho ban na sem ma na ho de ne. Sa ani na kudwo nso yisu president chako. Na enu ne de e ma wo se wo ye krejen fita. Na watimi asiri bedwo ma na feel you.
Kojo sa
yeah Pepsodent Eba and a Pepsodent Charcoal afedie ya kono natural
FDAJ twadi nkato yatu.
Hello, Linda. You won't believe what I am planning next.
I want to start my postgraduate degree, buy a car, and build my dream home. But you know what's stopping me?
What's that, Mike?
Money, oh. That be my biggest wahala.
Oh, you are sorted, Cry. With a GCB Big Move personal loan promo, you can borrow up to a whopping 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours.
Like, seriously? How do I qualify?
Yes, it's available to all GCB salary account holders. Plus, you get a 2-month grace period before you start to pay back.
Susket, I'm opening an account with GCB now.
Get a personal loan of up to 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours. Call 0800-422-422 or visit your nearest GCB branch today to fund your next big move as we celebrate 70 years of greatness. T's and C's apply. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. City Business News. Be informed.
It's time for City Business News on Eyewitness News, brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan, make that big move and dream a reality. I am Akosia Ocho. Let's settle for the details. The Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, has described as insignificant the recent drop in the monetary policy rate by the Bank of Ghana. The BOG Monetary Policy Committee, MPC, announced a cut in the key policy rate from 30% to 29%, offering businesses a much-needed respite. In an interview with City Business News, the chief executive of the association, Seth Chumakwabwa, says although they expected a much lower rate, it's a step in the right direction.
The drop is good. It's an indication that we have achieved some reasonable stability and we need to work at it and continue with it. Now, drop for me is not as significant because if you look at the rate of drop in inflation and other factors, we would have loved that to even reduce further. The fact that we've had a drop this time, we hope that it would follow subsequently so that the downward trend will continue and more importantly, see it translated into lowering of the interest rate. So I think that it's a good start. Let's see how the subsequent, the subsequent reviews go, and we hope that we will have further reductions in the subsequent reviews. I would have wished that it had come down further than this, but at least it's pointing to a positive direction. So we hope that subsequent ones will have a positive decline in the policy rate. And even more importantly, see it also reflecting in the interest rates by lowering the interest rate a little bit.
That was the chief executive of the Association of Ghana Industries, Seth Chumakwabwa. Now, in response to the National Communications Authority, NCA's classification of MTN Ghana as a significant market power, CEO of MTN Group, Seloma Dadevo, has voiced his concerns about the potential impact of technological innovation and economic growth of the country. He made this point while sharing his journey as CEO of MTN Ghana. Seloma Dadevo is expected to take on his new role as Chief Commercial Officer of MTN Group effective April 2024. While the MTN Ghana CEO also emphasized the need for a broader perspective on the role of technology in driving national development.
You know, I always think of all of this from the viewpoint of how do we use our technology and the investments we put into these specific business areas to drive the type of growth we need in the country. Why wouldn't the policy steer towards taking the opportunities, grow the entire pie? Because what happens with that is Ghana becomes a much more sophisticated country from a technology standpoint. It becomes more competitive within the sub-region, but also becomes more attractive to the types of investments we're seeking. If I look at, health tech, I look at med tech, I look at agri-tech, these are all technology-based specialist areas that can transform industries. And none of that work is happening today. Because we're confined to the telecom space, and we're saying that we need to limit the investment so that the industry creates or gets a certain balance, which on the one hand is very true. But on the other hand, you're giving up the economic potential of an entire country.
Chief Executive Officer of MTN Ghana, Selom Adadevo. Away from that, the Consumer Protection Agency is making a strong case for government to rescind its decision to implement 15% value-added tax on electricity consumption above the lifeline. At a press conference on Tuesday, the Consumer Protection Agency says it will join forces with other trade groups who have earlier rejected this move by government to register their displeasure should government go ahead with the implementation. Here's the Chief Executive Officer of the Consumer Protection Agency, Kofi Kapito.
CPA is telling government that we would join force with Ghanaians and the trade union to embark on a protest or any form of civil, legal way of making sure that we do not pay this tax. Laws are made for the people of Ghana. So if the people of Ghana is saying that we don't want these taxes, I think government should listen. The last time I checked, Nana Ado's government says they are a listening government. If you are a listening government, I think you should listen to the voice of the people, because government is for the people, by the people. No government is in isolation. Every government looks and balances how whatever they do does not impact on the lives of the people in their country.
Kofi Kapito is Chief Executive Officer of the Consumer Protection Agency. Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority says it is set to streamline processes that will reduce the long periods to clear goods at the country's land borders. Or the authority notes that the average clearance time remains a challenge to revenue generation. Therefore, they need to introduce measures to deal with the situation. Here's Commissioner of Customs at GRA, Seidu Idrisu Idisa, speaking to Citi Business News.
We experience delays in clearing goods at the land borders. It is simply because we are not coordinating very well with our counterparts from the other side. And that is why one of the presentations was talking about the SIGMAT program. The SIGMAT program is a program that we exchange electronically. Information of goods coming from one country to another. So by the time the goods come to the border, we already have the information. It is fully, and we can have time enough to do the analysis. And if we have any signals that this is not, there's something wrong with this one, then we can do examination. So that alone is going to facilitate trade, because it is the double. We are also, trying to do joint examination at the borders.
That was the Commissioner of Customs at the Ghana Revenue Authority, Seidu Idrisu Idisa. Now, the Mobile Money Agents Association of Ghana is urging its members to link their accounts with the respective Ghana cards or tax identification number. This is say will avoid the risk of having their accounts blocked. Or the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications in a statement says it will deactivate all accounts that have not been linked effective February 1, 2024. In an interview with Citi Business News, the General Secretary of the Association, Evan Sutumfo, urged its members to comply with the directive.
We would, just like Oliver Twist, always request for, more time or more deadlines to be given to us. That is all that we could request. But there is still a window of opportunity for persons who may suffer these to walk straight to any of the facilities. The telco's offices to go and have these credentials regularized with their account. If you think you're having any challenges and due to lack of adequate or proper documentation, then would encourage such individuals to rather get their own documents and request for new accounts from the offices of this telco, so that in no time they can still be reinstated to business.
General Secretary of the Mobile Money Agents Association of Ghana, Evan Sutumfo, given that caution there. But that's it for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. It was brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan, make that big move and dream a reality. I'm Akosia Otre. Up next is Point Blank Tuesday.
Hello, Linda. You won't believe what I am planning next. I want to start my postgraduate degree, buy a car, and build my dream home. But you know what's stopping me?
What's that, Mike?
Money, oh. That be my biggest wahala.
Oh, you are sorted, Cry. With a GCB Big Move personal loan promo, you can borrow up to a whopping 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours.
Like, seriously? How do I qualify?
Yes, it's available to all GCB salary account holders. Plus, you get a 2-month grace period before you start to pay back.
Susket, I'm opening an account with GCB now.
Get a personal loan of up to 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours. Call 0800-422-422 or visit your nearest GCB branch today to fund your next big move as we celebrate 70 years of greatness. T's and C's apply. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
it's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Sharp! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244-308-111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
Hey, Opeyin, what is this I'm hearing about some economic census?
Yes, the Ghana Statistical Service is conducting a nationwide census of all businesses called the Integrated Business Establishment Survey, popularly known as IBES.
A census of businesses? What is that for?
Well, for businesses to grow, they will need data on all business activities for decision making to enhance their profitability.
Hey, so does it mean my top bar is part of this exercise?
Of course it is. All businesses, whether for profit or non-profit, are included.
Okay, but won't my personal information be disclosed?
Not at all. Data collected will be kept confidential and used solely for statistical purposes, so your individual information is well protected.
Really? So when is it starting and how can I help?
This exercise will begin in January 2024. Help by giving the right information to the field staff who will be visiting your business.
Remember, support GSS to provide you with the right data for your business growth and national development.
2024 IBES, data for prudent business decisions.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Eyewitness News. My name is Umaru Sandama. Tonight on Point Blank, the new patriotic parliamentary primaries from the weekend. In the Efia constituency of the Western region, the Minister for Public Sector and also MP, Joseph Kujo, was one of 28 MPP MPs who lost the bid to represent their party in the elections of December 7. The man who defeated him is simply known as a businessman, Yao Buama. He's joined us on the line. Mr. Buama, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much, my brother. How are you doing this evening?
I am doing well, but I'm not sure as well as you. I'm sure you are still celebrating wearing white and moving around town and chilling.
The celebration time is over. The celebration time is over because we don't have much time to the elections. And so we have to end everything as at yesterday and come up with strategies of maximizing the votes of the presidential candidates and then myself come the 2024 December or November elections.
Where did you come from to uproot a minister of state?
Thank you very much. Let me say a special good evening to yourself and the good listeners of Citi FM, and also to Efia constituency, particularly the MPP, the delegates who have elected me to represent them as their parliamentary candidate come the 2024 elections. I'm grateful to them for the confidence reposed in me, and I'm sure with God's help I'll be able to bring the development and improvement that they seek in me. In your introduction, you indicated that I'm generally known as a businessman. I'm not a businessman. I'm a lawyer by profession, and I've been a tax administrator for the past 20 years. I've been working with Ghana Revenue Authority since 2003. And so I'm a full tax person, and I'm a lawyer by profession. So I don't know where you got that information from as a businessman.
I guess it was wrong information. Forgive me. In fact, the brief is that you were with the Ghana Revenue Authority. Was this your first attempt?
Yes, that's my first attempt to contest as a parliamentary candidate anywhere in this country. Yes.
And you sailed through successfully. I'll ask you what made it for you or what did the magic, but who are you for those who don't know you?
Thank you very much. I was born in Takoradi. I'm bred in Takoradi. I live in Efia over the years. I grew up there. I schooled partly in Takoradi Secondary, and then I moved to Adisadel College, where I completed my ordinary level certificate. I proceeded to Prempeh College to do my advanced level certificate. I hold a bachelor's degree in development studies from University for Development Studies, where I was the SRC president in UDS. I proceeded to KNUST to read masters in development planning and management, where also I became the graduate president of KNUST. And then I proceeded to Ghana School of Law. I did my LLB from University of London, and then I went to Makolat, and I was called to the bar in 2015. At the Ghana School of Law, also I was the president of the law school, and so that has been my trajectory. But I've been working in SWA VAT service since 2003. I've risen to the position of Assistant Commissioner in Ghana Revenue Authority, where I sit as the Secretary to the Board of GRA.
I see. And where is your connection to the NPP, or when did you get connected to the NPP?
Yeah, thank you very much. Right from the school days in 1998-2000, and before the 2000 elections, we were the first batch of TESCON executives in UDS. I served as the treasurer of TESCON, the first TESCON leadership in UDS. And then post-it being supporter or sympathizer of the NPP. I've assisted the youth wing over the period. The only thing is that because I've been a public servant, it wasn't really of me to show a political bias, because as a public servant, you have to be professional. But since I had affiliation with the NPP, I had to support the party in any way possible, and that has been it. But I started as a TESCON executive, and I've been an active member of the party ever since.
I see. What was your message to NPP delegates? For which reason they went for you?
I think it is clearly a matter of letting the people understand that we've had, of course, since we created Ifia constituency in 2012, we've had Honorable Joseph Kujo as our Member of Parliament. He has contributed his quota over the period, over the last 12 years. He has brought up a lot of development issues. He has built some hospitals. He has provided some water for the communities, amongst others. But I presented to the people the need to look for an exponential growth. And also, as an urban constituency, there's been pressure on youth unemployment. And being a youth, I had to discuss with them some of my strategies in working hard to make sure that we minimize the unemployment situation. I showed the way using my network to assist in bringing quite substantial employment to the youth within my constituency. And so based on what I had shown from the little that I have been given, they believed in me that giving a bigger opportunity to serve as their Member of Parliament, I would be able to deliver more to them. I've been a patron of the constituency for about 6 years. And so I've had extensive conversations with the delegates and the party over the period. I've understood their concerns and their needs. And so I had to go down, share with them my vision. And I think that was what they bought into, and that has brought us this far.
I see. What is your agenda for Ifia, first of all, for the MPP, and then secondly, for the constituency at large?
In fact, my election and possibly, of course, Ifia is a stronghold, if I may put it that way, for MPP. And it is my responsibility to ensure that we maximize the vote and increase our numbers, even beyond what Honorable Kujo had achieved. And for myself and that of my presidential candidate, I expect to raise the numbers significantly in our quest to break the 8. And so that is my focus. And then I've also indicated to the people that I'm not a leader for MPP. I'm going to be a leader for the people of Ifia. And so my goal and my vision is for Ifia as a constituency and not for MPP alone. And I've indicated to them I'm going to deal with 3 big areas: unemployment situation, education, welfare, and then health for the people and infrastructure. And so these are the 4 or 5 big pillars that I'm engaging the bigger community after my election to see and to give them a new hope on how well we are going to work both with government and with other stakeholders that I know to bring down the unemployment situation, to make sure that we improve on the educational standards of our people, and also improve the health situation, improve the general well-being of our people, and also bring about some significant infrastructure development.
Ifia, I believe, should be part of what used to be Ifia Kwesi Mintim, which is also part of the general Sekondi Takoradi metropolitan area. Is that correct?
That's correct. So we call it, like others we say, Greater Takoradi.
So Greater Takoradi metropolitan area, or Greater Sekondi Takoradi metropolitan area, which means that you're an urban center. The demands of your people would be different from the demands of people in rural constituencies. The population, I believe, is larger, and the needs would be different from what we see in rural areas. You've already identified that. Specifically, what do your people need?
As you rightly said, it's an urban constituency. In fact, my area is also predominant, both residential and then trading. So you have a market for the women. We have people with skilled and semi-skilled labor. You have artisans in the constituency. You have people who do petty trading. And then we have the bigger issue of people completing school not having work to do. So the strategy is to make sure that we cluster these different stakeholders within the constituency. So those who are into their own self-employment, like the carpenters, like the hairdressers, like the seamstress, amongst others, we should have a way to support them. If you take the market women, they want loans, they want some grants to be able to do their business. And then when it comes to the youth who have completed school at various levels, whether at tertiary, the Takoradi Technical University sits within my constituency. And so how do we assess the technical university? And after completion, how do we secure them formal employment? And so these are the needs of the constituents. And that is what I'm targeting, that we're going to go beyond government support, look at some donor support projects to bring on some grants and loans to the women who are doing trading so that they will be able to live above the poverty line. And so it is very important that we identify the specific needs of our people and also scale. You know, I have a very huge youth population, and I'm also addressing, or I'm going to come up with measures to ensure that we build their skill, the TVET and the COVET. How are we going to ensure that a lot of the people who complete SS and are unable to go to the university access some of these vocational training centers so that they will be able to come out with some skilled labor, some skill to work for themselves. And that is how I'm looking at for the bigger constituency.
A lawyer colleague of yours has just sent me a message saying you have so far not talked about what you do in terms of your real job, which is a lawmaker. You're just talking about developmental projects, which really should be the job or the area that the DC or the MC should be focusing on. What do you say to that?
Oh, it's factual. So the first role of an MP, of course, is a legislator, and as a lawyer with a 20 years tax experience, I'm going to Parliament, God willing, to bring to bear my experience and also supporting lawmaking business. But added to it is the responsibility as an MP to lobby for development for its constituents. And so I'm not oblivious of my core function as a member of Parliament, but beyond the work as an MP, how do I ensure that I bring people, I bring development, I bring support to the teeming people that are looking up to me as an MP? So I appreciate his concern that we haven't talked about my role as a lawmaker, but that is basic. That is why I'm going to Parliament at the committee levels, whatever committees, if we win, and they put us there, we're going to bring our experience to bear there. But bigger question, why the people have voted for me, is not going only to Parliament to pass laws, but also to be a lobbyist to ensure that their concerns are carried across to government, and also make sure that I use my relations, my network, and also I lobby government to bring the needed infrastructure development to my people.
Let's talk about the seat. You said Efia is a safe NPP area, but we do know that in areas like Sekendi and even Takoradi, the NDC did very well the last election. I don't know the figures for Efia, but how safe is the NPP in Efia?
Thank you. If I say Efia is primarily safe, I'm not being complacent that if we don't work hard, the numbers may not. But that is why the people in their best ways of belief that with a new person, there will be a new energy, there will be fresh ideas to be able to canvass the support. Ordinarily, over the past 3 times that we have voted in the constituency, NDC have been hovering around the figures of about 18 to 19,000. And then MPP has also been going around 26, 27,000. And so that has been the numbers over the last 3 elections. And it is my expectation that with my election to represent them, I'll be able to get the numbers even on a higher pedestal than we have achieved over the last 3 elections.
What is going to be the role of your MP, or the current MP, in the campaign that you are going to execute?
He's definitely going to play a very big role. Right after the election, he sent me a message congratulating me. We've been on very good terms. We are not, we don't have that kind of division and acrimony. I'm just walking out of an executive meeting with my people where all the members of the executives were present to draw up strategies looking forward into our next campaign phase. And even everybody, those who were at his side, have all come on board already. They've sent me messages committing to support. I cannot work this without what he has delivered to the people of Ifia. As I said, he has done his best. He has supported this constituency over the past 12 years. And it is part of his record that I'm going to write on, and that of the government, and that of the municipal assembly. So I know, and I'm been talking to him. He will be joining me on the campaign trail very soon as I go around. And so he plays a very instrumental role in this election, because at the end of the day, it is MPP that we want to win, and win big in Ifia. And his position as a certain minister and also a 3-term and only member of parliament so far will be very crucial in us getting the numbers that we expect.
Finally, can you assure my listeners that you did not buy the votes on Saturday, and that you actually won clean and fair, and you did not use money?
Of course, your people were on the ground. I believe Citi FM and other stations were there. You will never, ever find anything of that sort in Ifia, because these are people have engaged over the past 6 years, and they know what I have presented to them. And so there's no need for anybody to even think about buying the conscience of my people. Okay. And so it is very clear from whatever had happened, the victory was very significant because the people made a decision that this is who they want to lead. Okay. And so I don't think we had that issue of vote buying in my constituency, and your checks should confirm that.
Thank you so much, and wish you all the best, sir.
I'm most grateful. I'm most grateful for the opportunity. And best regards to Citi FM.
I appreciate it. That's Yao Boama. He's the newly elected NPP parliamentary candidate for Ifia, who toppled Honorable Joseph Kujo. Before I leave, there is an emergency on the Leicester Road. A vehicle on fire has caused problems there. So if you're driving towards Leicester roundabout, that's around the Spintex, there is a gridlock because there's a vehicle on fire. The fire service is needed immediately to assist the persons who are stuck on that road. That would be it for Eyewitness News tonight. My name is Umaru Sanda Amado. I did this with Akosia Ochi. Production by Kwabna Wilson, Beverly London, Sami Wiafi. Technical support from Desmond Nyakum. New media support from Edwin Kwakofi. We return tomorrow at 17:30 GMT. Thank you for listening, and have a good night.